Welcome back to another Miami Heat post-game show. My name is Amir. Got Martel and Trent on with me tonight. The Miami Heat lost today to the Indiana Pacers 115 to 117. We are now the eighth seed, boys, and officially back in the play-in and most likely definitively gonna be in the play-in unless a miracle happens. And I don't think that's gonna happen at this point. So it is what it is. We're the eighth seed. Lost a huge game, big opportunity to beat the Pacers, get the tiebreaker over them and the Sixers, and solidify the sixth seed, control our own destiny. And we blew it. They simply blew it. Biggest game of the year. It was supposed to be like a playoff type game, and we failed. The Miami Heat failed, and I'm frustrated. I'm sure you guys are frustrated. I'm sure the Heat Nation is frustrated, and I think it's unacceptable, and I think it's a horrible loss. And there's no pride that we came back. We literally got our ass beat in the first half, and we fought back, but it wasn't good enough. So I'm pissed off that we're in the plan. And you know what's crazy? The worst case scenario of the season: if the season ends today, Sixers are seven, we're eight. We play the Sixers on the road, lose that game, and then we play the winner of the Bulls and was the Hawks. I think they're 9-10. Lose that game, and we can miss the playoffs entirely. So that's not even out of the question yet, right? Like we're safe to play in the play-in, but we're not safe, and there's no guarantee with this team that we can even make it to the playoffs at this point. I'm not going there yet, obviously, but whoever wants to jump in first. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I'm in Hawaii right now, so I got to watch probably like 50% of the game. So who wants to jump in? Thoughts on the game?
This is why every single game counts. When I said this about a few post games ago, is that look at the position that we're in. We are literally fighting for our lives. And you know what I mean? And every single game counts. This is why you have to take the regular season seriously. Because when you do, now you can be where Orlando is and all these other teams. And guess what? If you win one game, guess what? You might go to second or third. But then also too, if you lose, it's not so detrimental. We have all of our guys back. There's no excuse. If we lose going forward, there's no excuse. The Miami Heat started off the game very slow, letting guys like CJ McCollum drop 30 on him. Why does he look like Michael Jordan out there? I don't know why. This Miami Heat team, we are on year five of the Jimmy Butler build. We should be ahead of teams like the Pacers, like the Orlando Magic. I know we have injuries, but the Knicks, they've had injuries. The Cavs, they've had injuries. Every single team has had injuries. So we really can't use that as a major excuse. Why? Because the Miami Heat, they have injuries every year. It's not anything new. We know what's going to happen. But everyone that told me and Trent, where's playoff Jimmy? Trent, oh, don't worry. Playoff Jimmy's going to take us home. Jimmy Butler should have had 40 tonight. I don't care if anyone loses. He should have had 40 tonight. That's playoff Jimmy to me. You guys told me, oh, well, playoff Jimmy's coming. Where is he? I know he had a good game tonight, and it doesn't all fall on him. But if we're going to have a playoff Jimmy game, tonight is the night. This is what he sat out the whole regular season for, correct? So I have a lot of questions going forward with this Miami Heat team. Do they want it enough? Because as fans, it looks like we want it more than them. And if we do, we're not going to win that way.
Yeah, listen. Let me say this real quick, right? The Miami Heat to get the sixth seed, they have to go undefeated, and then they need the Pacers to go 1-2 in their less like 4 games or 5 games, whatever. Even if the Pacers do go 1-2, the Heat are not going 5-0. That's just not happening. So yeah, and then going on to this game, man. Everybody talks about Jimmy. April's hair. It's Jimmy's time. Well, Jimmy, this is a playoff game, like Martel said, and we lost the most of two important games. Let's not forget, we lost that 76ers game. And we also lost this Pacers game, which determined pretty much everything. If you win, it controls your own destiny. And we literally, Tyrese Halliburton didn't even have the greatest game. We lost to a backup point guard, TJ McConnell. They had 22 points. That is pathetic. And the fact that it was only a 2-point game, that doesn't tell the whole story of this whole game. Like if you watch the start from the beginning, we literally was getting destroyed. Literally. Like we had to fight and claw and scratch to come back. We shouldn't even been in that position at all. We should have been competing strong in that first half. And then this could have been a different story. There's no excuses, no more. the team's fully healthy. So for Ernest and all the other fans that say, "Oh, we just need health," well, everybody's back.
Yeah, everybody's
Everybody's
back. There's no excuses.
everybody's back besides Josh Richardson, and Josh Richardson was a we already knew he was gonna be out for the season. So we got Tyler, we got Kevin Love, Duncan, Terry. They're all playing now. They may be going through injuries, but so what? Every other team is playing through injuries. Everybody's playing through injuries. And there's some teams that afford can sit their players out. Like example, the Cavaliers. They are sitting Donovan Mitchell because they know at the moment they're going to lock up that third, fourth, fifth, and they even have potential to even lock up that second seed. So they took the regular season serious, unlike the Miami Heat, which the second year we're going to be back in the playing. And everybody was telling me, well, this roster is better. Well, yeah, on paper the roster is better. I 100% agree, but altogether, this team is this. If you really want to talk, it's the same team as last year. The only thing I would say is Jimmy was better last year. Like
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy this year is just like he's average to me. He's just average. Like, yeah, this game's not all on him. You gotta look at, you gotta look at Bam, you gotta look at everybody else. You gotta look at Spo. He didn't have his players prepared. You gotta also look at that too, right? There's no way you should be down 20 plus points in a playoff game in a must win.
Look, but Trent, see, and you made a good point because thinking about it, Tyrese Maxey tonight had 52. I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler had to have 52, but this is one of the biggest games. This game and the Philly game, when we look back, why didn't Jimmy have like 40 points? And once again, it starts with him. Every other team superstar players, they put up the numbers. I'm not saying he has to have 50. And yes, it doesn't all fall on him, but you can't really blame Bam. Think about it. Bam has to play both ends. Jimmy's not even playing the other end of the floor like that no more. Bam's literally guarding out there 1 through 5, trying to shoot threes, rebounding, guarding, shot blocking, and then he has to drop 20 on the other end. I haven't seen Jimmy Butler's defense, and like you said, this regular season has been absolutely terrible for the bro, just for Jimmy Butler alone. Because Amir even told me before we even started the show, oh well, he played pretty good. Yeah, but that's not why he's on this team. He has a super max for a reason. $50 million. These are the games where he's supposed to take us home. And like I said, I understand that it doesn't all fall on him because the roster is somewhat flawed, but especially at the end of the game, Jimmy Butler's supposed to take us home.
Yeah. Amir, what do you think?
I mean, it's hard to complain about Jimmy in this game. I mean, we had 5 guys almost score 20 points, and we still lost. Like, who had 18? Jovic,
He
Bam
had a big
20,
game.
Jimmy 27, uh, Tyler 21. We had 2 guys on our bench score 20 points, 20 and 21, and we lost because TJ. He wasn't the only reason, but he was the Miami Heat scrub killer tonight. Every time he plays the Miami Heat, he plays out of his mind. Our defense is the 4th rated defense. Our defense has been spectacular over the last month or so, and they shit the bed to start the game. Like I, I, I think I missed some of the second and third quarter. Mostly watched the first and fourth. 38 points in a must-win game. Like 4th best defense, number 2 best defense since All-Star break or whatever it's been. Like I know we're on the road. I know our record against the Pacers on the road is horrible. We're like 14 and 40 or something like in Indiana, but that defense, that's our identity. So like we got like Jimmy to blame on defense more so than him on offense and overall in general. Like he's almost 35, dude. He's getting
No,
older
no,
and
we can't use that excuse because you guys don't tell me. Bro, listen, no,
well
not
from the
necessarily
defensive
you,
side,
Amir.
people are
You,
blowing by him
but I'm
though.
saying you people on YouTube do not tell me that. They said wait for playoff Jimmy. Okay, cool. Me and Trent have been at the top saying, listen, we know Jimmy Butler is not the same. Okay, so we cannot put that expectation on him going forward. I'm telling you, wait till they pay him. Wait till they pay him all that money, and everyone's
Yeah.
gonna be upset. And me and Trent have been saying this. I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler is trash. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that going forward, we need to realize that clearly Jimmy Butler can't carry the way he's been carrying. He can't. He's not doing it. If we're supposed to see playoff Jimmy should have been tonight and on the 76ers game. Either he's gonna drop 35 or he has the effect on the game of 35 to 40 points. I don't see him taking over the game anymore. I don't see him with the energy. I don't see him yelling. I don't see him screaming. You can't put it all on Bam because he does everything for this team. You can't put it on Tyler. He just got back. He had a decent game, but he just got back. He can't even play more than 35 minutes? He's just coming back. Terry Rozier with the stiff neck. There's always an excuse with this team. All I'm saying is that this should have been the 35-point Jimmy Butler night. Whether we win or lose, I know that you're saying that we all had 20 points here and there. Tonight is a 35-point Jimmy night with the effect or the feeling on the game of 35 points. That's just
But
me. They
you don't think
they told me
I get
playoff
it.
Jimmy's coming.
I get it, but just him scoring in that range, like we've lost games in the past.
Let,
Like not recently, but like
No,
we could
but
still it doesn't he
they
has
feed off his
impactful.
energy better. They feed off his
yeah,
energy. Listen, when he's yelling and screaming and getting in people's face and what they feed off his energy. That's why we won all these playoff runs in the past. Jimmy Butler's energy. Of course, Jimmy Butler dropped 35 or 40 points, but he brought the energy, and the team was like, "Oh my God, I think we can play just as good as him, if not better." You see
let me
what I'm
let me
saying?
let me bring up a point real quick,
Go
and
ahead
this
and
is
cook on
not.
that.
Yeah, let me bring up a point real quick. So this player is not on the team, obviously. I just want to give an example, right? So the Clippers today, they were down 26 points, right? They came back and won the game by 2 by a buzzer beater, right? But Russell Westbrook, he had 9 points. He was 3 for 9. Now, when you just look at the stat line, you're like, damn, he played awful. The reason they came back is because they felt his energy. They felt the little things that don't show on the stat line, and the team
Mm-hmm.
boosted around that, and they came back from that crazy comeback. And and his plus minus was a plus 18, which was the highest on the team. Sometimes like Jimmy would drop 50, but you don't feel like it. You feel like he's still not in the game. You need to feel that energy. You need to like the little stuff matters. And like I said, I'm not trying to put this on Jimmy or anything like that. But at the end of the day, he is our star player. Everybody says, let's wait. He's gonna bring us home.
Yeah,
And
how long are we waiting for?
yeah, let's. And then another thing too, I don't know if y'all seen it. Jimmy Butler has his attitude. Now I did not watch the clip. I seen the context of it, but it looks like Jimmy Butler's like, oh, we're just gonna take the heart away and we're fine with that. See, this is the attitude that's like he recently just came
Ludicrous.
out that after the loss. Oh, we're just gonna take it the hard way. It's fine. Like, bro, this
Not
attitude,
fine.
his nonchalant attitude is disgusting.
Nonchalant. Just
It's
disgusting,
really
man.
so. What I want to do as me, right? I honestly think we all want to be in the playoffs. Personally, me, I think we just we pack it up. We lose in the play-in. I think we should lose in the play-in. They're not going to lose in the play-in. I don't think. I mean, if you lose in the play-in, that's pathetic. I'll cook this team up even a little bit more. But I think our best chance of positivity, of me being positive, is that we play the Bucks in the first round. If we get the 7th seed, I think we'll be fine. Um. So
You
yeah,
think they can get the 7th seed? I know Joel missed
yeah,
today's
yeah.
game,
So
right?
so
Probably for some maintenance, but we got to beat the Sixers now on the road as
yeah.
Yep.
is, unless they somehow lose and we win 5 games in a
Yep.
row.
Yep.
To your
Yep.
point, but do you think we could beat a Maxi and they don't even have Tobias Harris or DeAndre Belton? Like
But
those
we
guys
have
can come
to.
back also.
We
But I mean,
have
do you
to.
think that seems like a hard task?
Amir, we
Like
we have playoff Jimmy. That's what you guys told us. Remember that.
Hey, yo,
That's
yo,
what
not
y'all
even
told
that.
us.
Not even that. We're healthy. We're healthy. So
Yeah.
what's
Hey.
next? We're
Hey.
yeah, we're healthy. So
We're healthy
you
now.
we're healthy. We got playoff Jimmy. Why can't we beat them? Why
we're
aren't
not.
we?
Hey,
they, Trent, they
we're not
laughed at us.
healthy. Hey,
Trent, they
we're not
laughed at
healthy.
us.
Hey, we're not healthy. Rozier slept wrong and his neck hurts. Like what the fuck,
Yeah, how
dude?
the
That
hell
is
did
an
you
His
hurt
neck
your
excuse.
hurts.
neck? Nah, seriously, how did you
No,
how do you
you're
hurt?
right. I have no clue. Maybe slept on it wrong, but like
Like,
to your point, like we're healthy. We can't use that as an excuse.
Nope.
Jimmy Butler, you need to wake up. Like
Yep.
is father time like catching up to him this quick? Like what's going
Look,
on, man?
when was the
Like
last time Jimmy Butler even dropped 30 points? Bro, like,
see,
come on. Let's be
this is
realistic here. When was the
this is
last time he
uh,
dropped 30
stop
points?
it. You guys were saying that about 20. Next is gonna be 30, then
no,
40.
no, no,
Come
no,
on.
no.
No,
Let me
no,
answer.
no, no.
No, hold
20
on,
is
hold on.
no 20 was the minimum for him. That's why Trent brought that up. 20 is minimum. You guys told us playoff Jimmy was coming.
Yeah.
Where is he?
So this is why I respect LeBron James so much, and I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I respect him because look how old he is, and he's still dominating when he wants to, and we don't have that. And like a lot of NBA players would never be like that. And look at Jimmy, he's 35 and he's falling apart like he's freaking like he's 50 already,
40.
bro. Yeah, it's like, bro, like it's just frustrating. And honestly, we're gonna get ready for this roundtable off season talk, man, because this season's ending real quick, and there's gonna be a conversation with what do we do with Jimmy and what do we do with Tyler, because I think Tyler this
Mm-hmm.
playoff run is gone, and I think Jimmy needs to do something with his contract. They need to talk to him or something like that because this is not it. It's not it. And we keep Terry. We keep Bam. I love what honestly I've been loving what Jovic is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime, let me talk to something about Jaime real quick. You could tell his minutes are getting less and less. You think he'll be fine next year?
Look. Remember, I said this in the last episode. Jaime Jaquez Jr. came out and said his body is done. He said that his body is done, and I believe him. He's not used to. Remember, he was playing the most minutes for the first 30 games of the season. He said his body is cooked.
Yeah,
He said his body is tired. He's not used to playing these long seasons fresh out of college. So
for
next year, this off season, he's gonna have to really get in the lab, lift them weights, drink those shakes, do all prepare his body properly to handle that 82 coming for the next season.
that is a little concerning to me. Little concerning to me because he's so young. Like I mean, I know you said, well, he's not used to it and this and that, but Amir did like the dude's young. Like I understand if we
I
got a
hear you.
mayor, it's like I understand if we got a mayor out there freaking playing 82 games, the dude's body will break down in 5 minutes. But this is Jaime. We just drafted him. Like we're supposed to look at him for the future and for the next like 10 years. You know what I mean? And we always talk about Amir. Martel, that we want these players at least playing 70 plus games, 60. So if you're breaking down already,
60. Fuck that. We want 72 and above.
yeah.
10
But
game
I
max.
think he'll be all right, though. I think he'll be all right.
see, the thing is though, like you could tell that the dude hasn't been the same. Like the injury really affected his
No,
whole. Like he just has. Like,
he said his body's tired, bro. He said it out of his own mouth. He's tired.
it's
He
That's
did,
crazy.
it. Yeah, I'll try to find it for you. But he did say
but he
he's
can't.
tired. He said his body is
It,
tired.
it can't be just that though. I mean, like he's also like
Like he
just
doesn't have
right
the
now in a rut.
burst.
Yeah, he's in
He
a
doesn't
rut
have
though
the
too.
burst
Like
like he used to.
Well, what he needs to do too is he needs to work on shooting the damn ball
Oh, bro,
because
his shot is terrible. Oh my
well, it's
lord.
because like I feel like he could be 10 times better if he knows how to shoot. Because
Yeah, his shot is terrible.
if he can shoot the ball, then he don't have to do all this extra cutting and running. All this, like, bro, shoot the damn ball, bro.
but
Hmm.
he's not even like he's getting some of the cuts on the weak side, but like he's not he might you're right, Martel. He might be gassed. Like he's not cutting as much. He's not doing like the
No,
intangible stuff.
the
You know what I mean?
defense,
Like
the defense dropped off a lot. The defense was a lot sharper the first 30, 40 games. I'm telling you, I'll try and find it later. But he did say he's tired.
Yeah,
Can't
man.
blame him
yeah,
if he's telling the truth.
Listen, where this team is cooked, I'm waiting for Ernest to get back on the show. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm ready for World War IV because I need to know the next excuse he's rolling with because he says playoff Jimmy. Well, it's
Healthy.
playoffs. It's playoffs now. This is playoffs. Like just because it's not,
Yep.
it's playoffs and we're healthy. Because the earnest excuse that he kept throwing out was health, 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 health. Well, everybody's playing. Then the next excuse is gonna be it's not really the playoffs yet. Like it's not playoff time because it's not April. It's not the April 14th or whatever it's supposed to start. Watch, he's gonna say some dumb stuff. This season's cooked, bro. And I've been saying this, but I've been called a bandwagon. I've been called a hater. But the end of the day is I'm just speaking the truth and the truth only. Simple.
that was a
But
bad loss today. That was tough. I mean, you had to win that game. That was the game of the year right there. I mean, if we didn't blow a bunch of other games earlier in the year,
see,
obviously every game matters. But this one was, we had this in our control. We were healthy. This is one we let slip away essentially, and I mean, at a loss, man. You can't go. This offense is just not good enough, man. Defense is good. Offense just always finds a way to do something wrong. We figure it out eventually, but you can't get away with being inconsistent, even for a small period of time. But like against Philly, we had 2 6 minute stints where we didn't score, especially at the end of the game. I mean, that's the most detrimental part, right, of that game. Today, what do? We went like 0 for 13 or something from three. Like that's how you lose a game right there. Like you're down 14 after the first quarter. You let the Pacers. I mean, the young, high scoring team, probably highest scoring team in the NBA, but you're the number four defense now, right? You've been stepping it up, and you let them score 38 in a must-win type game, and you come out only scoring 24. Like we figured it out eventually and did better, but like that start killed us. It's not always how you start; it's how you finish. But like if you start really bad, like then sometimes you can't finish and you can't make up for that, right? So we always find a way to be anemic on offense and blow it. It could be it's usually the third quarter or the fourth quarter, right? You know, but like we start off so bad that it just we shot ourselves in the foot and it was not insurmountable. We obviously came back, but at that point, we just weren't able to sustain. We weren't able to get enough stops, and we couldn't stop TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell is the reason why we lost this game. I feel like outside of obviously the horrible shooting. Um, I mean, we made up for it at the free throw line. I think. I know the officiating was kind of bad here and there, some calls, but like we had like 13 more free throws than them, right? Like we shot a little bit better from three eventually, but again, it wasn't good enough. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's I don't want to lose hope and faith in this team and all that stuff, but like it's just Martel. How many teams have ever won a championship as a seventh or eighth seed in the history of the NBA? Do you
Keep
remember
bro,
that number?
keep telling them that stat, Amir, because that's one. I'm telling you, that stat that you said was the best stat I have yet heard about this Miami Heat roster. Because I would say the biggest thing that people keep saying, and this is why it's very dangerous when we keep saying, "Oh, don't worry, this team's going to turn it around." Oh, don't worry, playoff Jimmy and Spo and this, that, and the third. Yes, we've done it in the past, but this team is not good enough to flip an on and off switch to just say, yeah, 1 minute we're going to be the eighth seed, and then another minute we're going to be championship contenders. We're not good enough, while we're playing or on paper. Not at all. Of course, we show flashes of what we can be, but all year, even in the small pockets that we've been healthy, we have not really shown anything, maybe put up a good few stretch of games. No consistency with this team. So I would say one of the biggest things with this Heat, we need to stop thinking that we're better than we really are, and this whole flip on and on switch where we think we're gonna just take it over because it's the playoffs. Me personally, that's a very bad habit to have for this Miami Heat roster.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's about fit, right, guys? Like
It's
we don't have the right fit. Like this puzzle doesn't work. We don't have the right pieces right now. We can't solve this puzzle because we're missing pieces, right? You can't complete a puzzle if you don't have all the pieces. What year is it with the Jimmy build? Year five. Like again, it's not impossible, right? Like hey, like I've said this before with college basketball. I don't watch college unless it's March, and for the first 40 years of the March Madness tournament, a one seed has never lost to a 16. What happened? It finally happened, whatever, 10 years ago, and it happened, I think, twice now. So it's like not impossible for this Miami Heat team to somehow magically maybe turn it around and make a deep run, but it's very improbable at this point. Like after game, I want to believe, I want to be positive, I want to be optimistic, I want to have a hope, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I don't always care about the year before. Like I've said that before. Like I'm a sales guy, and like it doesn't matter what you sold last year. It's about what you're doing this year, right? But if you have credibility, maybe you should give them some hope and faith, right? Which we will give them the benefit of the doubt. But if you don't step up and they keep showing us time after time, disappointing us time after time, Jimmy like looking, I'm not going to say washed, obviously, but not looking like himself, right? Obviously, with that heart and passion that he typically has, that he usually plays with in the month of April, May before the playoffs, then who knows at this point? Like it's hard to have complete faith, but it's not impossible. But it's going to be very very hard again for a seven seed or eight seed to win a championship because they're not elite in the regular season, which means it's hard to be elite in the postseason when you play against the best teams, playing at the highest level, playing the hardest that they should be playing against, right? So that's all I have on my end. Anybody want to
Yeah, that's my last.
leave
The
some thoughts? Yeah, go for it.
last thing I'll say is it's game 77. This is what the Miami Heat team is.
Yep.
And it's like that simple, bro. I've seen 77 games. Like one game in the playoffs is not going to show me different. This is who you are. So
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, 4 games left. Who knows what happens at this point, but looks like we're destined for a game against the Sixers as the eighth seed versus seventh. Whether we're the seventh or eighth, it doesn't matter at this point. It looks like we're going to most likely play the Sixers. So hopefully we can win that game and get the seventh seed and play the Bucks and maybe realign and figure out what can happen at that point, right? So if not,
Yep.
hope to get. I mean, hope to even get the eighth seed at this point and then play the Celtics in the first round. So not where this Heat wants to be at this point, right? So
yeah.
all right, Martel, last words.
Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.